Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Breaking news out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Our sports team has been tracking this story all day, and sports director Beth Houle joins us now with the latest. Beth?
Yeah, thanks, Callie. The Missouri Valley Football Conference President's Council voted today to postpone the fall season, making the Missouri Valley the third conference to postpone its season today alone, along with the Big Sky and the Pioneer League. NDSU hosted its first practice of fall camp this morning, masks on and energy high as they were eager for a football season. Athletic directors across the valley met with student athletes last night to discuss the options and take in the opinions of the student athletes. A meeting was held at 4 this evening where the President's Council took a vote and ultimately made the decision to cancel the fall season with the hope of playing in the spring. I spoke with both NDSU Director of Athletics Matt Larson and UND Athletic Director Bill Chaves tonight. Both mentioned the fact that the FCS was now below the NCAA required 50% participation threshold, meaning there could be no postseason or championship this fall. And they say that played a role. They both hope and emphasize that the Valley hopes a move to the spring could keep the chance for a championship alive.
Well, that's absolutely our expectation. And, that was a big part of our conversation too, and I think was a consistent theme across all the programs, across all the players and the coaches around the country, is that they want to compete for a national championship. They want an opportunity to play in what I think is one of the best playoff systems in the country. And so that is absolutely an expectation.
It was almost unanimous that when our student athletes are playing a season, they want it to be linked, if possible, to a playoff opportunity, and then of course for a national championship opportunity. So I think that the decision that was in front of us was the potential of a potential playoff in the spring versus not in the fall, and that seemed like a fairly easy decision in that regard, especially given the feeling of our student athletes.
Now coming up tonight in sports, the plan for this fall is the Missouri Valley leaves open the option to play non-conference games. What NDSU and UND are thinking about those options, you can also find plenty more from both Larson and Chaves on valleynewslive.com and on the VNL News app.
Thank you, Beth. We look forward to hearing more about that later in the newscast. And one man is in the hospital after a crash today on I-94. A Freightliner was going east on I-94 when a motorcycle got on the freeway. When the bike entered traffic, it hit the trailer of the semi-truck, causing the driver to lose control, forcing the motorcycle down on its side. The driver was taken to Essentia Hospital for serious injuries. The driver of the semi was not hurt. Highway Patrol is investigating the cause of the crash. And disheartening news for some living in assisted facilities in the state of North Dakota. Increasing cases of COVID-19 are forcing some facilities to move back to early phases. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockey explains.
Troubling numbers from nursing homes across the state of North Dakota. The news coming as facilities across the state resume visitation.
It's still an alarming number to us. And there are facilities that have had outbreaks within residents, but we do have facilities that have backed up.
For several families, the last 2 months have been about reconnecting with loved ones they've been kept from. Now, a concerning surge is leading to setbacks.
It takes an emotional toll on residents and on families. I would say last month I've had more people shed tears on the phone than I did in the first 2 months of COVID. Because it's just getting difficult now.
Facilities aren't required by the state to go backwards in phases, but with 79 active cases coming from staff and residents, some are choosing to do so to protect the most vulnerable.
If we want to stop this, A, we need to make good choices. B, we need to, do the hand washing, but we need to wear masks.
Officials say more than 40% of COVID deaths in the nation are coming from nursing homes or assisted living facilities. In North Dakota, that number is over 60%.
If that doesn't get people to smarten up, nothing will.
It's still unclear what kind of a spike would call for the governor to reverse course. In the Valley, Courtney Lockey, Valley News Live.
You can learn more about the state's Long-Term Care Association by visiting ndltca.org or you can call 701-222-0660. Benton County is reporting the most confirmed new cases per capita in the state in the last 2 weeks. Tribal Chairman Douglas Yankton says they were able to survive the 2-month closure of the casino because of federal assistance. They say people are now going to work despite the risks. Spirit Lake was the first tribe to enforce a mask mandate, but as cases go up, Yankton and other tribal leaders have to figure out whether or not to shut things down again, which many can't afford. Yankton says they've ramped up testing and nearby universities are helping with contact tracing. And here are the updated numbers of COVID-19 cases in our region. In Minnesota, their Department of Health is reporting another 556 confirmed cases of COVID-19, along with 4 new deaths linked to the illness. The death toll is at 1,640. In North Dakota, 150 new cases and another death has been confirmed. The death toll now sits at 109. And child immunization rates are declining in North Dakota despite requirements by law to vaccinate children before school starts. With only 3 weeks left before kids head back to school, health professionals are urging parents to make appointments. State health leaders say kids can be excluded from school if they're not up to date on their immunizations by October 1st. They say vaccinations are vital this year, so public health clinics don't get overwhelmed by other illnesses piling on top of COVID-19.
We really want to make sure that kids are protected against vaccine-preventable diseases, so we're not worrying about those diseases and those outbreaks along with dealing with flu and COVID circulating.
Officials say families who choose distance learning still have to vaccinate their children as well. She says homeschooled children have always had the same vaccination expectations as children who physically attend school. And Governor Tim Walz today announced that he will have a special legislative session Wednesday, August 12th. Governor Walz plans to extend the COVID-19 peacetime emergency by 30 days to make sure the state can quickly and effectively respond to the pandemic. Minnesota's peacetime emergency is consistent with the ongoing national emergency declared by the president and the emergencies declared in every state in the U.S. And North Dakota is second in the nation for GED test takers. In the last year, 439 North Dakota students took the General Education Development Exam. The total pass rate was 88%. Only Wyoming was ahead of us at 90% pass rate. Students have to pass all 4 parts of the GED, including reading and language arts, math, science, and social studies. And the University of North Dakota is planning a virtual homecoming due to COVID-19 concerns. Officials say the events were planned for October 5th through the 10th. The homecoming 2020 Hall of Fame football game is still scheduled for October 10th. For more information on homecoming events, log into our website at valleynewslive.com.